Hi everyone. I've just made this quick little information video for those of you who might have missed our honors information session or who just want a little bit more detail specifically about our honors film and TV studies program. So I'm really going to be going through a lot of the things that I went through in our honors information session, but I just have a bit more time and control here to go through it in detail. So I'm going to start by just telling you what it is. You will have learned, hopefully, or maybe you haven't seen yet, that there are two honors programs in film. And of course, there are also media options, but the two film options sometimes confuse people. The program that I'm going to be talking about today is called Honors Film and TV Studies, and I'm the convener of that program. And this program is primarily a scholarly program, so it is primarily an academic program. The other film program that you could potentially apply for is called Film Theory and Practice, and that program is a theory and practice program. It is what it says. It's got theory, but it's for students who have a more practical interest, who want to work in either documentary or screenwriting as their kind of primary focus. So although it has the word theory in it, that program is actually aimed toward practical students, but you will also do theory. This program, Honors Film and TV Studies, is the theoretical program. Okay, so just the titles often confuse people, but this is the program for our film theorists, for those of us who are interested in writing about film, in exploring films and studying them, and of course in studying television. So here's my little blurb about it, and I've said it's a largely scholarly program focusing on film and television theory and analysis. And in this program, you will do a dissertation, as the dissertation is compulsory and it's a big part of the process, but there are creative options here. So although this is a theoretical program, you can either write a dissertation or you can write a screenplay as part of your dissertation. So you can write a traditional academic dissertation or you can write a screenplay. And it's also worth noting that if you take this option, you may also apply to tutor in the first year film course. So it's a good place where you learn how to teach as well. And this is available to our theory students because generally when you're doing production and a whole sort of theoretical course, it's really hard to also squeeze in teaching. But if you're doing theory, you're really learning how to be an academic. And so we like to get our theory students to tutor as well. So this is just a little overview of the program structure. And the program comprises 4 taught courses and a dissertation. So overall, you'll be taking 5 courses. But one of those courses will be your dissertation, and one of them will be a compulsory course. And all the choices that you make for your degree have to be approved by your program convener. That's me. But we'll give you some guidance at the beginning of the year on how to structure your program. And what's nice about honors is it's really an opportunity to start designing your own degree and to start making choices that help you to define who you are as a researcher and what you want to study. So it's a very good idea to come into your honors year with a specific focus and to think about, what types of films or TV shows really fascinate me and excite me, which theories are interesting to me, and try and design your course choices around that. It's a really lovely freedom that we increasingly get as we go into postgrad. And you may also find you don't know yet, and we'll help you make those choices and find your way. So it's also kind of, part of the process of discovering yourself. So there are 2 courses that you absolutely have to take. The one is your research essay or screenplay. So that's your dissertation course. That's FAM 4001W, and that runs for the whole year. And for that course, you'll be paired up with a supervisor who will help you through the process. And then the other course that you have to take is our core course. So that's the kind of compulsory core course that you will do for this program, and that's called Critical Approaches to Film and TV. And I'll talk more about that course in a minute because I teach that course. In addition to these 2 core courses, you will also be allowed to choose 3 elective courses, and that will form your full degree. So you're allowed to take 3 approved honors level electives from FAM, and you can also take courses from a cognate discipline. So that's, fields that are similar to film studies or have, areas in common with film studies. So you could, for example, take a course from gender studies or a course from English or a course from the history department. But you will have to see the handbook for what courses are available and apply to those departments and ask if you can take them. So that's not guaranteed, but if they agree to have you in one of their courses, then you can do that. Though I would urge you to make sure that the bulk of your courses are film courses, because you're doing a film degree. There's no point in studying film and then all your courses are in English. You should do English, So just keep that in mind. So we also have a set of kind of recommended electives that are available from FAM, and so you can choose your 3 electives from these. A couple of things to keep in mind here. You want to be able to balance your semester load. So sometimes students do this thing where they do all their courses in the first semester or all their courses in the second semester. And that's a very bad idea. You're going to get really stressed out. Bear in mind that in the second semester, you're probably going to be also spending quite a lot of time on your dissertation. So make sure you have breathing room in each semester. The best balance is 2 courses per semester. So in the first semester, you're going to be doing your compulsory course. So bear in mind that it's best in this semester to only choose 1 elective course. And here you can choose from a range of courses: advanced television analysis, authorship in cinema, documentary film, or writing for film. And as you can see there, we have options in screenwriting, but you need to talk to Dr. Ian Reisdeck about whether you're eligible to take those courses and whether you have the necessary background to do them. But it is quite nice because it does offer you a little space in which you can get some screenwriting training, particularly if you're writing a screenplay as your dissertation. And then in semester 2, you can choose from avant-garde film, writing for television, which is another writing option, or film and the environment. And I'm going to put up some slides with more details about these courses. And they're all the details about them are in the handbook as well. And if you really want more information, you can contact the convener and ask some questions about them. But what you can see here is, as you design your honors degree, you can really sort of construct it around you. So if you are, for example, really interested in something like how films represent history, you would take the core course, and then maybe in your first semester, you could take a course on documentary film. And then in your second semester, you could choose 2 courses which also deal with historical themes. And maybe these aren't so obvious, but avant-garde film, there's a lot of kind of older films there that deal with history to an extent, and film and the environment you might choose. Another student, you might be more interested in screenwriting. So you would do your core course, and then maybe you would do writing for film, and in the second semester, writing for television, and then pair that with your writing dissertation. So, really you can kind of design your experience. Say you're interested in television studies, you would do your approaches to film and TV, which is your core course, and then your advanced television analysis. And then in the second semester, you could take writing for television, and maybe you could choose a course from another faculty. But really, the idea is you can kind of choose the things that work for you and create a kind of a focus area. And within those courses, there are also more opportunities to specialize, to look at a particular director, to deal with a particular theme that's of interest to you. So just also remember that at the beginning of the year, I'll also sit with you and we'll fill out your curriculum form and I'll help you make some of these choices. Okay, so just a little word about our core course. This course, I designed it because I feel like what I really want to be able to do by the end of your honors year is give you confidence in working in film theory. So, I want you to be able to use all the weirdest and strangest and most complicated film theory that's out there. And often you'll come across this like psychoanalytic stuff and theories of affect. Oh, why is this screen jumping? It's my other lectures, sorry. Realist film theory or very early film theory or queer theory. And you will have dipped into this at undergrad, but probably some of the stuff is going to make you feel a little bit anxious in terms of how we use the terminology and how we kind of insert that into our own writing. So this is a course that's led by theory. And really what I want to do is get you to the point where you can confidently access and use film theoretical arguments to make your claims and the things you want to say about films. And so I run this course as a kind of a debate. So each week we have a class debate, and we have to take one side or the other, and we argue positions, and we come out at the end and we then discuss, what we really think is going on. So it's a very interactive, quite fun course, and it will really get you on top of your game in terms of being able to write critically. So I don't know, it's the most fun course that I teach, and I can't wait to have you in it. And of course, we have films as said texts for each week, but we really go through kind of theoretical themes in the course. But I try to choose films that are fun too. Generally, it's a lot of fun. So that's our kind of our core course, making you all into little genius film theorists and debaters, and people who can like kind of really advance their ideas in a confident way. And then the other core course, or the course that you absolutely have to take, the compulsory course, is your dissertation course. And as I've mentioned, you either choose a research paper, so you can choose a kind of a research focus and write about a topic of interest to you. And really, it's like a long essay that you work with a supervisor on. Or you can work with a supervisor writing a feature-length screenplay or a TV script. And if it's a TV script, you'll do 2 episodes or 3 episodes, depending on how long the script is. But in each case, you will have quite a lot of guidance. We'll pair you up with a supervisor and we'll take you through the process. Don't be too anxious if you don't yet know, what you want to do for that. Just toy around with ideas. Think to yourself, what are my favorite films? Why do I like them? Or if there's a kind of a question or a question of identity that you're interested in, you can pair that with an analysis of a specific film. So students have done really interesting things in the past. In terms of kind of pairing these questions together. So they've done, dissertations about looking at representations of colorism in South African cinema, well, problems of colorism in the representation of skin lightness on South African television. Or we've had dissertations where people do really fascinating queer readings of certain television series. There's lots of things, but they don't come to mind right now. But I'm very happy also if you have any sort of questions about how to come up with a research topic, you can ask me. And what's also quite helpful is to think about what people in the departments do, and who you would like to work with, and sort of tailor your research question around that. So for example, we've had many people who are interested in the environment or questions of environmental filmmaking, and that's quite nice because Ian specializes in film and environment. So we've had lots of people writing about films that have an environmental theme, working with Ian, and then also taking his film and environment course. Similarly, I'm really interested in television discourse, and so students who are interested in, say, representations of gender on reality TV, and we'll choose a particular example and work together on that. So think about who's there, who you'd like to work with, but always make sure it's led by what your interest is, because you've got to be interested in it all the way through. And then similarly with the screenplays, it's quite helpful if you want to write a screenplay to think about what genre you want to work in. Do you want to write a romantic comedy? Do you want to write a hospital drama? Do you want to write a short funny web series? Where are you placing yourself? But don't feel like you have to have all the answers now. These ideas will change and we'll refine them as we get into the honors year. So just to run through your electives, I don't want to do this in too much detail because I don't run a lot of these courses, so I might get it wrong. And also the descriptions are there. So we'll put the honors pamphlets up on the website and you can go through them in more detail or look in your handbook. But here they are anyway. So advanced television analysis, this is definitely for people who take television seriously and are interested in writing a dissertation on television text. Even if you're not, it's a fun course in which you get to examine television courses, and there's so many fascinating things about TV. It's long-running narrative, it's domestic, it's intimate, and increasingly it's the place where all the exciting work is being made. So a lovely course. Then this is Martin's course in film authorship. And this is for those of us who position ourselves as like real cinephiles who like the kind of, who like the canon of film theory, whatever that canon may be, but also for people who want to question the canon or think about what is it to actually make art in film, to be an author of the film image. So it deals with questions of what it means to be an author or an auteur. And I found students do really interesting things in this course, but also it's a great place to expose yourself to wonderful films. This course in documentary is actually the core course of the documentary stream for the practical degree, but it's open to you, and I think it's a really useful course to take, particularly if you're interested in representation, if you're interested in issues of history, if you're interested in questions of realism. So a wonderful course, and if you're fascinated with documentary, obviously this is an option for you. Then I hope I'm representing all my colleagues' courses well. I'm just doing a brief overview, but really you can read and contact them if you want more information. This is the Writing for Film course, which I've spoken about before. You'll need to chat to Ian about whether you are going to be prepared enough to take it, but it's a really good choice if you are going to write the dissertation as a screenplay, to have some training in it. And this is probably the place to do that. But even if you don't want to write the dissertation as a screenplay, you can still think about doing this course. So just to add something creative to your degree. Oh, I forgot to mention, going back, in the core course, we also do a little bit of a kind of creative project, in the sense that we do a video essay in which we use audiovisual forms to make critical points. So there is a bit of creativity, there's a bit of editing skills being used there. It is an optional project. You can choose a video essay or a thesis, not a thesis, a long essay. But last year, all my honors students chose the video essay, and they did a fantastic job. So I'll teach you how to do it, and we'll have proper discussions, and support will be there. But just to let you know, there are kind of fun moments where you can still play around with film and using the audio-visual image to express your ideas. Moving swiftly forward again, I hope this is not too confusing. And we're on to the second semester elective. So in the second semester, you can do Ian's film and environment course. It's a very popular course. It's a lovely course in which Ian takes you through debates around the representation of nature and film, both in narrative film and documentary. Again, you can read his blurb there to get more details, but I know this is a very popular and much loved course with some really exciting and interesting projects attached to it. Again, if you're a writer, this course is obviously going to be of interest for you. And here, I think you work together to write short, like little web series episodes, and you'll be working both with Ian Raistek and with our new wonderful member of staff, Dylan Valley. And so it's a lovely course to expose yourself to skills in writing for television. And of course, writing for television and writing for comic forms is very different from traditional film writing. So it's a lovely course to do, and also a course if you're interested in television or in short form formats. And finally, Martin does this wonderful course in avant-garde film, again, for the real cinephiles amongst us. And you can read the blurb, but essentially you'll be exposed to a huge amount of weird and wonderful films. I remember doing this course as an undergrad and absolutely loving it, and it sort of blew my mind a bit. So that's another wonderful option for you in the second semester. All right, so finally, and this is probably what you're all worrying about, is your application. So first of all, I just want to point out that the applications are handled by central admissions, which means that we don't really have much control over like how it gets processed by their online form and stuff like that. So if you're having issues with the online form, do let us know, but just be aware that we can't resolve those from the department side. So when you send your emails, or if there's a problem, whatever, just copy us in, but be aware that it's a kind of, you need to contact the postgraduate humanities office and central admissions for any kind of like bugs with the website, because we don't see that, we don't control it. They send us your applications and we read them. But just what I would also recommend is for you to just make sure that we know that you've applied. So because sometimes the applications don't come to us right away, etc. So when you have applied, just could you drop me an email to say, hey, I've applied, and then I will have a list of who's applied, so that I know that your application is coming through to me. Okay, so just to kind of have a double check or a backup in case anything goes wrong with the online form. In terms of the application itself, and again, I'm not sure exactly how the online form is laid out, but please write us a little introductory letter, a cover letter, to say why you want to do the program, what your interests are, and just give us a really good sense of like, why is this important to you? And don't feel shy to toot your own horn, but also, the most exciting thing to find in a cover letter is a student who has a real interest, a real excitement, something that drives them. And not necessarily something about you, but something about what you are interested in. So I love these films and I find it really interesting that they do this, that kind of a thing. So let us know, what is it that you want to do? What do you want to get out of the process? That helps us because we want to know that this course is the right fit for you and you're going to be happy in it. And then so tell us why you want to do honors and demonstrate your enthusiasm for the subject matter and your academic interests and your skills. And the other thing is the writing sample can often confuse students. So really what we want is for this course, for this program, we want your best academic essay, because this is a primarily academic course. We want to know that you can write a good essay. And generally, if you come from UCT, we have a sense of your writing skills already. This is much more important for students applying outside of the university for us to gauge how they write. But it's good, put your best foot forward, give us your best essay. And if you're allowed to put another option up there, you can add a screenplay if you're interested in writing screenplays. If not, don't. And then, as I've said, for any issues relating to the form and any bugs in the form, contact Central Admissions or the PG office, but you can copy me into your email so that I know that there's an issue, just so that it's all on record. Okay, so I look forward to reading your applications, and I look forward to having you in my class next year. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right, bye everybody. And I'm going to stop recording.